Hi, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a newsletter in Word and save it as a PDF. So the first thing I need to do is to get my text in. So I'm going to go to Insert, Text Box, click on the drop down and select Draw Text Box. Then I'm just going to click and drag out a text box. For the time being, it doesn't matter how big it is. And if I just deselect that text box, you can see it has a black border around it, and it's also got a white background. So if I put this on top of a colour background, you would see it's a white fill. So I just want to get rid of both of those because I don't want them in this particular newsletter. So select that text box, go to Shape Format, go to Shape Outline, click on the drop down and select No Outline. Then go to Shape Fill, click on the drop down and select No Fill. Now I need to insert some text. So I double click inside the text box until my cursor appears, and then I'm just going to paste in some text. And then all I'm going to do is just to move this text box down here. Now you can go online and find out different designs that you want for your particular newsletter, but this is just a really simple design. So I want 2 columns, so all I'm going to do is click and drag out another one of these text boxes. Now you can copy and paste it. If you go to the Home tab, make sure that your box is selected, go to Copy, deselect that text box and go back to Paste. But I find the quickest way to do it is just to select the text box, hit the Alt or Option key, click and drag out another text box. I'm going to leave that one up here because we do need one for later. Now the downside with this particular technique is that if you are typing and you get to the end of this text box, you will have to begin typing the remainder of your text in this text box here. It won't just automatically flow into the next text box. Now to ensure that these text boxes are perfectly lined up, I'm going to select this one. I'm going to hit my Command or Control key on my keyboard and select this one here. Then go up to Shape Format, go along to the Align tool, click on the drop down and select Align to Top, and you can see now they're perfectly lined up. Now I'm going to get a 3rd column in here. So what I've realized is that actually these columns here are too wide. So I'm going to select both of them again, holding down the Command or Control key, and I'm just going to move them in, and I can also move them up. And then I'm going to deselect them. I'm just going to select this one. I'm just going to move my arrow key because I've lined them up to the top. I'm just going to use my arrow key to move them over. And then all I'm going to do is to use this text box here. Now obviously you'll have your own text here. And in the top of this one I'm just going to put a title. So I'm going to select this text at the top here. Let's maybe select 4 words for the title. Of course you'll have your own. I'm just doing this as an example. And then I'm going to paste that title in there and then go to the Home tab, and then I'm just going to increase my font size by using this tool here, Increase Font Size, and I'm going to change the font to Brasilia and just click bold just to add a bit of additional interest. And then I might just take out that space, and then I can push this text box down to the bottom until it suits me. Now I will line this up at the bottom, but I'm actually going to colour this text box. So select the text box, go to Shape Format, go along to the end here and select Format Pane. Once you do that, you'll see this menu will appear with these 3 different tabs at the top. Now I can use a fill colour, click on the bucket, click on the drop down, go to Solid Fill and then go to Colour. I'm just going to select a light grey. Now here I can see that my text is really close to the edge of my text box, but I can change that really easily. Select it, go over to the Format Shape pane here. Now we're currently on Text Options. If I go to Shape Options, select this box here, and then you can see we've got these margin options here. I'm going to use these up and down arrows, and as I click you can see over on the left how that changes my margins. And then you can just do that until it suits the look you're looking for. And then I'm just going to pull this down. If you find that you can't get all the text in that you want, then you can always move the text box up and then just increase the box size at the bottom. You can use the arrow keys to move it up and down just to match the bottom line here. Or of course, if you don't want to do that, you can adjust the size of the font. So select all the text, go to the Home tab, and you can use the increase, decrease font size tools to edit that text so that it will fit your particular space. So then I'm just going to use my arrow keys just to move this a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm just going to grab a title along here. So I'm going to click and drag out another text box. And again, we'll just select a little bit of title to about here. Again, you'll have your own title to edit. And again, I'm going to select all of this, go to the Home tab, increase my font size tool, maybe put a bold on there. And again, we can pull and push this out till it suits the look we're looking for. Great thing is, if it cuts off a word here, you can pull this out and it will add the word. And again, you can increase and decrease the font size so that it matches the look that you're going for. Now don't forget to try and line up the text here so that it looks really smart. Click away and then you can see how that's looking. Now the distance here between these two is a little bit too tight, so I'm just going to click on this box, use my arrow key and just move that over slightly. Just keep checking how that looks. Once you're happy, we're then going to go ahead and put in the title. So again, I'm going to borrow this box here and then I'm going to click out another one and then type in my newsletter monthly. Now the reason I'm doing 2 boxes for this is because again it just gives me that freedom to place these wherever I want them. If I put these 2 words in the same box, Word will determine the gap between monthly and newsletter, and then you have to go through lots of menus to correct it, whereas actually doing 2 text boxes is far easier. You can just move them. So I'm going to increase my font size to 55. No, that's actually changed the text, so I'm going to click in here, 55, press enter, and then I'm going to change this to American typewriter. Now actually what I should have done is change this first, and then let's just take the bold off that. Now what I should have done first is to actually format this, then copy and paste it. So let's get rid of that. Once we've done the formatting, we then just copy and paste it, and then we'll type newsletter. There we go, and just stretch that out. Now again, we need to line these 2 up, so select the top one, hit the Command or Control key, select the bottom one, go to Shape Format, Align, and then we'll go Align to Left. Once you're happy with their spacing as well, we can group them together. So go up to Group and select Group, and that means now we can move that title around wherever we want to, but we don't need to move 2 separate entities. And we're going to go for the last piece of text, which is underneath here. I think we'll move that over to the side because I think we'll put the logo up there. Once again, stretch out that text box. I think we'll go for that much text at the top here. Again, you don't have to do it this way. You have lots of different options. You really can customize this to suit your needs. I think sometimes it helps to change the font size. We go to Home, just to add a little bit more interest. Let's just reduce that down a little bit more. There we go. And again, it's so easy to move all of these elements. So the next thing, I'm going to put in my logo and a picture and just a line, and then we'll align everything up. So I'm going to go to Insert, Picture, and I'm just going to use a stock image from Word. Let's use this one and then click Insert. Now, when you insert a picture, most of the time it goes all over the place, it pushes everything out the way and people just panic. But don't, just leave the photo where it is. It's now selected, just right click on it, go down to wrap text and then select in front of text. And then we're just going to increase the size. In fact, no, I think we'll leave it there. Move this over. I'm going to line it up. We'll try and line it up here. Again, use your arrow keys to move that picture. And we want it to go behind this box here. So what I'm going to do is select this box and pull the box forward. So select it, go to shape format, go along to bring forwards, click on the drop down and select bring to front. And you can see it's brought that to the front there. Now, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to flip this picture. So select it, go to picture format, and I can see the width is 15.9. I'm just going to copy that, Command or Control C, and then weirdly, I'm going to flip it this way, pull it across, go back up, paste the width in, uncheck the box and press enter, and you can see now we've got a perfectly flipped image. That's the only way I found out how to do it in Word. If anyone else has a way to do it, I'd be very interested. Now this picture is also a little bit tall, so I'm just going to crop it. So select it, go to picture format, go along to the crop tool, click on the drop down and select crop, and then I'm just going to pull the top down a little bit here, pull the bottom up a bit here, press enter, and then just go up and select crop, and it will crop your image beautifully. And once again, we'll just move that picture down, and then we're just going to insert my logo. So insert picture, picture from file. I'll select my logo there, click insert. Again, I can't move this. When you insert a picture, sometimes you can't move it. So again, right click, wrap text in front of text, and we'll just move that to line that up again with the edge. Then I'm just going to select a little line, so insert, shapes, line. Then I'm just going to click and drag out a line. Then again to shape format and over to this menu here. If it's gone, just click format pane, and then onto the format shape, I'm just going to click on the fill icon here, go down to line, solid line. I'm going to select the grey colour again, and I'm going to go to width here and just use the up arrow to increase the width of that line. Keep checking it until I'm happy with the width, which is about there. Okay, so that's the basics in. We can now go ahead and do headers and footers, but if we want to adjust things, this is the time to do it. So I think these boxes are a little bit too close to the bottom here because I want to get a footer in. So I'm going to select this box, I'm going to hit the Command or Control key, select this box, and I'm just going to move those boxes up to about there. And then I'm going to select inside the box, my cursor's inside there, select Command or Control A to select all of the text, go to the Home tab, and then I'm just going to decrease that font size until I can get my text in. Maybe go to 12, and then perhaps I can do a little bit of editing. So maybe take a sentence out. Let's just pull that down. Once I'm happy, I'm just going to delete that one and just copy and paste this one. Now I know that's not going to be easy for you because you've got your own text that needs to go in there, but it can take a little bit of editing, a little bit of nurturing to get it right. But this is how you'd make it look perfect if you wanted to. If you don't want to go to that bother, that's fine. You can let it run over if you want to, or you can let the text run higher and then perhaps put an image in here. Again, I'm just going to reduce the size of this one as well. Again, I can just take out that last sentence. And then this title is a little bit close to this photo, so I'm just going to crop this photograph again, go to picture format, crop. Now if you don't want to crop the photograph, that's fine. You can move it up or down. You can decrease the size of this font here, again moving that up or down until it suits the look you're going for. And then I think one of the things I like to do is just to go down to the slider at the bottom right here and just go out and see if there's anything glaringly obvious that stands out or doesn't fit the look I'm going for. So I do like to zoom in and out, and if something catches your eye that bothers you, then you can usually see it when zooming in or out. So now for the headers and footers. So all I need to do to access my headers and footers is simply double click at the bottom or the top of my page. You can see the main body of my newsletter is greyed out. And then I'm going to insert text box, draw text box. Again, this is really easy because again, text boxes are so versatile. Again, my text box has a border and a white background. So select it, go to shape format, shape outline, no outline, shape fill, no fill. And then at the bottom here, I'm just going to put in my issue number and the date. And once again, I'm going to reduce the font size, go to home, and then just reduce that font size down. And then I'm going to line it up with the text here. I just want to pull that down a bit with my arrow key. Now to come out of the headers and footers, double click in the main body of your document and you can see how that will lie. Again, I'm going to double click down here. I'm going to copy this text box by Command or Control C. Then I'm going to go to header, Command or Control V. And then I'm going to use this for my headers for websites, phone numbers and email. So I'm going to hold down my Alt key, click and drag, deselect them, reselect it, and then do the same. Then I'm going to input all my data. Now, if we put this text into the center of this box, we can then center it to the page. So select the box, go to the Home tab and click Center Text. That text is now in the middle of this box. Then go to Shape Format, go to Align and select Align to Center. And now that one is perfectly lined up with the middle of our page. I'm then going to line this all up with the line here. And again, this one with the edge here. Now for a final flourish, we need to identify whether these margins are correct. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the headers and footers, go to Insert, Shapes, Line, and then all I'm going to do is draw out a line. Holding down my Shift key, it will mean that it's perfectly vertical. Now when I select it, this little box appears and tells me how far away from the margin to the left it is. So if I line it up with my text at the bottom, roughly about here, you can see it's 1.99 centimeters. If I then copy and paste this line and then I take that line, it's really fiddly to select these lines. Take that over. Let's go to Layout and Size. You can see we're currently on an A4 page, which is 20.99 centimeters wide. So what we need to do with this line is to make sure that it is 19 centimeters from the left. Now it's a bit fiddly, so you're just going to have to go for as close as you can. So I've got 19.05. That's perfect for me. That's absolutely fine. So from these two lines, double click inside to the main page. We'll get rid of those lines in a minute. You can see that this newsletter R is too far over. The rest of it is pretty much lined up. So all I need to do is I'm just going to move this one over because that's a little bit too much to the right. And then we're going to move the newsletter over, or we're going to have to decrease the size of it. So I think I'll decrease the size. So go to Shape, Format, Group, Ungroup. I'm just going to decrease the size of the font. So go to the Home tab. I'm going to go to, let's try 50. Let's try 52. Okay, 52 is perfect. Again, let's change that one to 52. And make sure they're both lined up again. Hold the Command or Control key down to select them both. Go to Shape Format, go to Group and select Group. And now I'm just going to move that over until it's generally in line with everything else. You can see I haven't lined it up perfectly with the line. It's just got a little bit of a gap, but you can generally see that's where we need to line those up. Again, down at the bottom, the gap's too small here and it's too big here. So I'm going to double click inside my headers and footers, and I'm just going to move that one over till we've got the same kind of gap. And again, down at the bottom here, just move that over. Now, if your arrow keys are doing massive jumps and you want to have a little bit more accuracy, if you hold the Control key down and the Command key down, it will actually do smaller increments. So now I'm happy with that. I'm going to get rid of these lines, select them and press Delete. And then double click inside the main page. And then again, you can zoom in and out to see if that's the way you want your newsletter to look. Once you're happy, go up to File, go to Save As, go to File Format and select PDF. Name your document whatever you like. I'm going to save this to my desktop, and then you can either select best for electronic distribution or best for printing, depending on what you want to do this document, and just click Export. Now I'll go ahead and open that up, and it does need checking, and I'll show you why. Occasionally we have a few mistakes. So whilst it looks great, you can see at the bottom here, we've just got this text missing off the bottom. So all we need to do is to just go back and then click on this box here. Just going to extend it out slightly. It's going to get rid of that text, that last word at the bottom. Then I'm going to do exactly the same. Just open up that PDF again. Just reduce the size of it again. And there you go, you can see that's been corrected. So it is worth quickly checking just to see if anything's gone awry. And as you can see, that's now ready to be emailed or to be printed. I hope that's helped you today. If it has, please subscribe and have a great day.